He unlocked the door and the cell hummed like a hive waking to sting. Cold light crawled over the floor. Inside, a girl with silver eyes looked up and whispered, "You already visited." Cale froze, key still warm in his hand. He had never been here, not to this wing, not to this cell. That's what he told himself. But the room smelled like burned dust and rain, and that scent tugged at a memory he didn't have. "Step away from the bars," he said. The girl tilted her head. "You said that last time too." Sirens slept inside the walls, waiting. The cylinder lock was against every law in the archive. No one opened the prison of tomorrows. Tomorrows were dangerous. They knew how the story went. He should have left. Instead, he stepped closer. The bars thrummed under his fingers, metal with a slow heartbeat. "Who are you?" "I'm not a who." Her breath fogged the air. "I'm a when. You're when." He wanted to laugh. He didn't. Her voice carried a weight that pressed his chest. In the hall behind him, the other cells hummed in answer, a chorus of futures caged like storm birds. "Don't play with me," he said. "Tell me your name." "Name is what you use for the past. You call me tomorrow." "I call you by then." Her silver eyes softened. "By then you're bleeding." He glanced down. A thin red line crossed his palm where the key had bitten him. He hadn't felt it. He never felt small cuts until later. "Why did I come before?" he asked. "You came to trade," she said. "You brought a promise and you wanted a different ending?" The archive's rules flashed through his mind. Don't unlock a future that belongs to you. Don't ask a locked future questions you don't want answered. Don't meet yourself twice, Cale swallowed. What did I trade? You left a lie, Tomorrow said. You took a truth. The air stiffened. Whisper thread legends, told in the lower stacks, said a person could steal a future. But a stolen future left a debt. The debt-hunted boots thudded above. Wardens, he had disabled one camera. There were 12. Tell me the truth I took, he said, fighting the urge to run. She pressed her palm to the glass. There was no glass, he realized. The barrier was woven light, cold and rippling. You took the day your father died. You wanted him to live. You wanted to change the look on your mother's face. We gave you 12 hours. You spent them? His mouth went dry. He didn't have a father. He had a gap where a father should be, a quiet street, a phone that didn't ring. He had the skill to open locks that didn't exist, and a sudden ache in his ribs. You already did, she said softly. You went back at dawn? You warned him about the crash. He stayed home. He lived that day? He made breakfast? You cried and said it was pepper smoke? Then the hourglass clicked shut. Fate took its dead at night. He died in a fire instead. Same day, different door. The humming deepened, like the prison was listening to itself breathe. Cale's throat ached. He hated the idea of a fire, hated smoke, hated hot dark. I don't remember it, he said. You don't remember what you can't bear. We kept the ache to keep you honest. She looked past him, toward the heavy door. They're coming. I should lock you back, he said, but his feet didn't move. You won't, she said. Because you came this time for another trade? He almost said no. The word died in his mouth. What trade? Not a life, Tomorrow said. A world? Cale blinked. What? You think the prison holds your personal days? She said. It holds paths, wars you could start, cures you could miss. The time you stood on a bridge with a stranger and either smiled or didn't. Your tomorrow is a gate for other people's tomorrows. You were born with a key in your hand by then. You are a hinge. Boots now on the stairs, closer. He could feel their echo in his bones. A rule rose up in him like a shadow. If a tomorrow speaks your secret name, shut the door. Never answer. How do you know my secret name? He asked Dot. She smiled. You told me last time. Anger flared. If I took a truth, give it back? That's not how truth works, she said. But I can give you the lie you left. He steadied himself. Show me. She lifted her hand. The barrier softened, not open, but thin like a curtain of rain. From the far corners of the cell, threads of light spun between her fingers. They braided into a small thing, as simple as a folded note. She breathed on it. The note opened. He saw himself, older by a year, standing in this same corridor, same key, same cut in his palm. But there was something else. His eyes were wrong. Not hard. Empty. His older self reached in through the softened barrier and touched Tomorrow's wrist. Quiet, older Kale said. No hope. Hope makes noise. Then he smiled, a thin blade smile, and shut the lock. The note turned to ash in his hand. That was the lie, Tomorrow said. You told yourself you could do this and stay human. The door behind Kale shuddered. A metal voice. Unauthorized breach? Hands on your head? Kale backed to the bars. What's the twist? He asked, breath fast. What flips? You said last time there was a flip? She stepped closer. For the first time he saw fear cloud her silver eyes. The flip is this, she whispered. I'm not your tomorrow alone. I'm the city's. If you free me, we will skip into a better morning. But the prison will break. All the dark futures will run too. The wars, the sickness, the fire that never goes out. The door locks began to clack, one by one, heavy and final. Wardens murmur-checked their rifles. Kale could almost feel the sights on his back. If I leave you, he said, what happens? You remember everything, she said. You become the warden they fear. You close the wing. You call it mercy. You empty your eyes. He should have laughed, but his heart hurt too much. His world narrowed to the key in his palm and the soft light between them. Why me? He asked. Why make me a hinge? Because you always stand at doors, Tomorrow said. Even when you swear you don't. The final lock on the hall boomed open. On the ground. A voice barked. Kale met her gaze. He thought of breakfast smoke. He thought of all the cells humming like a storm trying to form. He thought of quiet, empty eyes. He made a choice. He shoved the key into the humming seam and twisted. Every cell sang. The barrier fell like rain and Tomorrow stepped out, her bare feet kissing the cold floor. Light poured from her skin. The rifles clicked in the dark. One warden shouted a name, his secret name. By then, Tomorrow breathed, fingers catching his bleeding hand. Run with me. They ran. And in the ceiling a dozen sparks woke, red as embers, and the prison whispered like kindling. Something was coming down the stairs, not a warden. He knew the sound of that step. It matched his own. Too late, said his older voice from the shadow. Want the next breath of this story before it changes? Follow now for part 2.